Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear on what AHAs can do to your skin when you're out in the sun without sunscreen? Okay, last time. This is your skin. This is the sun. This is your skin on AHA in the sun without sunscreen. Any questions? I'll leave it up to you to make me look good. If it was up to me, I'd be a mess. Because I'm like, meh. I'm fine. Hi, my name is Christy, and I've been treating clients professionally for over 12 years, especially in the areas of acne, hyperpigmentation, and other skin conditions. And today we're going to be talking about the worst skincare products to use during the summer. So this is not that these are the worst products in and of itself. That is not what I'm saying. So I hope you like that parody. It was a public service announcement that was done with a partnership for a drug-free America. So for those of you who are too young to remember that, that's what it was for. So I hope you enjoyed that little clip right before. So the first type of product that you may want to avoid during the summertime are leave-on exfoliants. So a good example of this are toners or acid peel solutions that actually instruct you to leave it on your face. An example of this is the Ordinary 7% glycolic acid solution or the Pixie retinol toner. So whether it's these leave-on toners or even those pads that a lot of times they're marketed for acne where they're soaked in a solution, whether it's glycolic acid or beta hydroxy acid such as salicylic acid, a lot of times during the instructions it tells you to actually take the pad, scrub it all over your face, and of course you're leaving it on. You're not instructed to rinse it off. So these can make your skin photosensitive, and if you are even driving to work during the summertime or you're just getting more sun exposure, you have to remember that in the summertime, because the sun's rays are stronger, it takes less time for the sun to do more damage. So I am advising and recommending that you just avoid this during the summer, or you just don't use it as often, and never use these products, of course, during the day. Usually during the summertime, when you're getting more sun, then obviously it activates the melanocytes to make more melanin, so you're getting more color. So if you have hyperpigmentation or you have acne scars, you spent some time outside, those scars or those hyperpigmentation starts to get darker and they become more noticeable. So I've been doing these online consultations. I had one particular client that actually was in a mall, and it was a med spa in a mall. She walked in, and without the professional asking any questions of her skin history or anything like that, convinced her to do a glycolic acid peel in the middle of summer. So for those of you who are considering doing an acid peel, whether it's professionally, you shouldn't be doing it in your own home, but if you're using these types of products, do not do these during the summer. Wait until fall or winter when the sun's rays are not as strong, because it doesn't matter if you are not in the sun all the time. You also have to remember, it's mentioned in one of my hyperpigmentation series videos, that when your skin is also exposed to heat or hotter temperatures, that also exacerbates hyperpigmentation. So fast forward, she told me the story that she got a acid peel done, which is why she came to see me. She has really bad hyperpigmentation. So just try avoiding those. So another example is the Ordinary. So the Ordinary has a product out that is a glycolic acid peel that is 30% plus BHA 2%. That is an actual acid peel where you put it on and then you remove it. You rinse it off. It does specifically state on the website, not recommended for people who have sensitive skin and or people who don't have experience using an acid peel solution. Most people do not have experience using acid peel as an exfoliant unless they are professional, and this is where my concern comes in, is that I have had 3 online consultations dealing with hyperpigmentation where they have used this in the past. They did follow the directions, but they still used it incorrectly because they thought if a little works and they have good results, a lot would be better. And so one of them actually got a glycolic acid peel burn. So for those of you who are using this, I recommend that you just don't use it. There are other things that you can still exfoliate the skin, and just wait until the sun isn't as strong. So this is how strong it is. On their website, not only does it say that you should be an experienced person using this type of acid, but it says to do a patch test, and it says if irritation occurs, consult a physician and stop using immediately. So when it says consult a physician, you really need to think about what type of product that this is. So all of them say, so the Ordinary, the toning solution, the Pixie, and the Bolden toner, they all say to put it on a cotton and then apply on your skin, both AM and PM. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend even using it during the AM, especially if your skin is prone to burning or you have hyperpigmentation issues, and just doing it at night. But in the summertime, I probably would avoid these two, and instead using a exfoliator that you can actually rinse off. Now, the concern is, according to the website for both Pixie and for Bolden, is, again, I looked at the ingredients, they're not bad products. However, they don't mention, at least what I saw, there's no mention that there's no AHA sunburn alert warning you of this, so people who are not experienced in skincare are not going to know this. So it's not on the website, and it doesn't even say to advise using this with a sunscreen. So please be careful with these products. So what the focus is, and why I talk about it so much, is that if you minimize sensitization over long term, you minimize inflammation. And when you minimize inflammation, you minimize the breakdown of collagen and elastin. So long-term inflammation, there's actually a made-up word that is in our realm of profession, and it's called inflammaging. So it's not really a word, but they've coined the term inflammaging because it is so common now where there's chronic low-grade inflammation that you don't even really notice a lot of the time. What they're doing is causing premature aging. And so what I've seen is, I've been in this industry now for over 12 years. So even 10 years ago, I have not seen the amount of premature aging in younger clients that I do now, and the level of hyperpigmentation is so common. And I think it's because a lot of these skincare companies are creating these products, market it to younger people, and now you have these younger social media influencers that are promoting these products, but they're not realizing the long-term effects of this. And so what's happening is inflammaging. So again, I'm not saying that these products in and of itself are bad, but you need to understand how to use them and when to use them and what products to pair them with. So what's happening over time now is the chronic dehydration then leads to fine lines and wrinkles. The chronic inflammation for some other people can lead to hyperpigmentation. So a lot of times when people start using exfoliation, they notice that their skin is getting drier. It's typically a skin condition that's called TEWL, transepidermal water loss. They're getting that low-grade dehydration. Now that is normal initially, especially if the skin is not used to such a low pH, but if you don't replace it, those ceramides, those lost fatty acids, then that's what can happen over long term. And what is of concern is these young women that are constantly using these products trying to slow down aging, is they're actually prematurely aging their skin. So before we get into the pro tips, if you are liking these types of videos, please give us a thumbs up, especially if you're finding the information helpful for your skin type. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell so you can get notified when our video goes up. So the pro tip is, I understand that a lot of you are going to say, but this makes my skin so smooth. I'm not asking you to stop exfoliation. I'm asking you to think about or consider replacing that exfoliating product that's a leave-on and using something that actually you rinse off. So for those of you who are Fitzpatrick 3 and 4, even 5. You have to understand, with you may not be getting a sunburn, but you're getting hyperpigmentation. So please consider that, and just take that toner, that leave-on toner, and save it, put it aside, and continue using it during the fall, late fall, and the winter time. So I do want to talk a little bit about the Bolden Brightening Toner. I did look at the ingredients. The ingredients are not bad. They're actually quite good. However, it's a little bit concerning for me because, one, it doesn't mention anything about sunburn on there. But they have in there, they actually have 2 types of lemon essential oils in there, or lemon extracts in there, and one of them is actually pretty high up on there, maybe 1 or 2 ingredients after glycolic acid. So there is a type of skin condition that can happen when you have certain plant oils that get on your skin and then you go outside. It's called phytophotodermatitis, and so it can, some people, depending on how bad it is, it can turn into blisters. And other things, what happens is they get a reaction, and so over time they actually can get hyperpigmentation from that, and that is caused by a chemical that is in, it could be in citrus essential oils or certain type of plants, and this chemical is called furocumarins. So my concern is that not only is it in there with glycolic acid and the lemon essential oils, is that people who have darker skin, it tends to show up more on their skin. So again, not a bad product, but I would avoid using this during the summertime, and I would advise that they put a sunburn advisory on their box. And maybe it's on the box, it just doesn't show up on the website. Now, if you read a lot of labels like I do, you're going to notice that a lot of products actually use certain citrus essential oils for their fragrance because it smells fresh and refreshing, or they're using the extract for vitamin C. So it's not that all products, that just because it's in there that it can cause this type of skin condition. When formulated correctly, it should be safe, and it's diluted enough. So if you see the citrus essential oils towards the bottom, it's totally fine. And if you're using those type of products and you tend to get hyperpigmentation or you get sensitized easily, they do advise avoiding contact with UV rays for at least 12 to 18 hours after exposure. So remember, it is important to make some slight adjustments during the summertime just because the weather is a little bit different. If you want to know more specific tips in regards to your summer skincare, then watch this video right here. Remember, makeup is an art, skincare is a science.